Hello my friends, yes, this is Matilda and welcome to Tilda's Cookbook. Today I'm gonna share with you my recipe of little cinnamon raisin brioche. They are so simple to make and so delicious that you're going to love them. They're semi-sweet, they go perfectly next to a cup of coffee or tea, or even as breakfast or afternoon snack. You can enjoy them any way you want them. Very simple to make with no kneading at all, and you have them ready in no time. So let's get started. I'll be using 230 grams of brioche flour, but I've done it with all-purpose, it works just fine. 125 grams of warm milk, 50 grams of softened butter, really soft it needs to be, 1 medium-sized egg, 45 grams of sugar, which is 3 tablespoons, same as the butter, 6 grams of instant dry yeast, and if you don't use instant you need to proof your mixture first with the milk and sugar, a quarter teaspoon of salt, half a cup of raisins, but you can use as much or as little as you want to, and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. First, I start by beating the egg to have it ready for later on. In a bowl, I'll put my flour, sugar and the yeast, and this is where, if you're not using instant yeast, you need to proof it, as I said before, with the sugar and the milk to make sure that it is activated. And I give them a little mix before I add the rest of my ingredients in, because I don't want the salt to touch my yeast, because this way it loses some of its power. So I add my cinnamon and I mix again. And the raisins, and then I add the milk, which is warm, because this way it's gonna activate the yeast. With the temperature, we don't need it to be hot, just warm, so much as that we can stand it on our finger, and mix everything together to get the flour a bit incorporated. Then I add the egg that I've beaten first and mix everything until also the egg gets incorporated, and I have kind of a soft dough before I put my butter in it. Then I put it in. You see how soft it is by now? And this is the way it's supposed to be, to blend nicely with the rest of the dough. And I'll start mixing it around with my dough for a few minutes until it gets totally incorporated with the rest. I cover my bowl with saran wrap and let my dough rest or proof, as we say, for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours, or until it gets doubled. It took about 2 hours for my dough to rise, but it's risen nicely. It has doubled in size, if not more, as you can see. And now I'm gonna sprinkle some flour on my board. Oops, there is a little raisin there, I have to take it out. And pour the dough with the use of a spatula because it's really sticky. Sprinkle some flour on top of it And again, with a spatula, just form it into a ball. Just give it a little bit of a shape. As soon as it's not that sticky anymore, I give it a little log shape. And then I separate it into the pieces that I want. Actually, this particular log I separated into 8 pieces. My brioche came out medium size, not too small, not too big. But this is totally up to you. You can separate it into more pieces according to your taste. I make a little ball out of each piece and I put them aside as soon as they're all ready. And I'll show you the kind of shape that I'm giving them. But you can do any shape you want to, really. I use a pizza roller pin and I take one by one. I dip my pizza roller pin in a little bit of flour so that it won't stick, and I open a little oval piece. Then I take the short ends. Oops. And bring the top part in the middle, the short end, and the other part in the middle, and bring the two together and stick them up. They turn into a bit of a rectangular shape, this way, kind of long, and then I have my tray with parchment paper on it, as you can see here, and I put them in, leaving space in between because they're gonna rise again. After I finish with them, this is how they are. I cover my tray with a plastic wrap or a plastic bag and let my brioche rest for another 30 to 45 minutes. 45 minutes later, my brioches have risen nicely. See how they are? And I take a little bit of evaporated milk, like I always do, and brush the top part of them really lightly in order not to lose the rising. And this is gonna help them get a nice color while they're baking and also get any topping stuck on them. As a topping, I'm gonna use some brown sugar. It makes it a bit crunchy and shiny, and I really like the texture of it. But the truth is, you can use any topping you want to, really. You can use sesame, or you can use poppy seeds or almond fillets or anything that you prefer. Or even leave them plain and they're equally delicious. And now they're ready to go into the oven and bake for about 20 to 25 minutes. It took about 25 minutes to get the desired color in my oven. They look really nice and golden. And now I'm gonna put them on a cooling rack until they are cooled down completely. And a good way to maintain them fresh and soft is after they've cooled down, you can put them in a plastic bag and you can save them there for days. So now they've cooled down, I'm gonna taste one of those. See how fluffy they are? They're really nice. So I'm gonna cut it up. See how wonderful? It smells so good. So I'll give it a taste. It is delicious. Look at this, it's nice and soft. It's like cotton. Really yummy. sweet and with a cinnamon taste. It's delicious. Look at this, my friends. I hope you're gonna give it a try because it's really easy and it's super tasty and it's really nice with a cup of coffee or tea or something. So consider to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Share this video with your friends. Click the bell icon so that you can get notified on my weekly uploads. I post new videos every week. And I hope to see you back next time. Until then, happy baking και καλή σας όρεξη. Bye bye everyone.